Good evening, everyone. I'm Kubrali and you're watching Awaz News. Tonight, I'll be taking you to top news across Canada.
King Charles III has been discharged from a London hospital after prostate procedure. Teen girl charged in connection with suspected hate-motivated assault in Toronto's East End. Parliament returns with Liberals focused on Ukraine Tories trained on carbon price. Mississauga women charged in alleged $500,000 medical supply scam. OMA warns Toronto missing hundreds of family doctors. Leon's plans to build 4,000 residential units in North York. 15-year-old boy charged in Oshawa shooting.
These were the headlines, and now let's go through the details.
Police arrested a Mississauga woman who allegedly ran a medical supply scam for over 6 years, scamming victims of more than $500,000. Peel Regional Police said the scam lasted from November 2015 to 2021, where the accused allegedly overcharged patients and their insurance providers for medical supply items. The victims would receive off-the-shelf items instead of the custom-fitted items they ordered, police said. Police said the accused ran several businesses out of her home during that period of time, included Noble Wellness Inc., 403 Healthcare Inc., and Soul Healthcare. On Friday, January 26, police charged Fazile Akhil, 58, with fraud over $5,000. The charge has not been tested in court. Investigators believe there may be more victims. Police ask anyone who recognizes the company, names, or similar fraud crimes or have information about the fraud to call the Fraud Bureau at 905-453-212 extension 3335. Tipsters can also call Crime Stoppers anonymously. A 15-year-old boy is facing 11 charges in connection with a shooting in Oshawa on Saturday that left a victim with serious injuries. Durham police announced the charges in news release issued Monday, saying officers were called to the area of Wentworth Street, West and Cedar Street for reports of an armed person at approximately 6:45 p.m. that evening. When officers arrived on scene, they found a 26-year-old man suffering from a gunshot wound, police said. He was transported to Toronto Area Trauma Center with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Police said an arrest was made at the scene without incident, but few other details were released at the time. Investigators now say the suspect, who is 15-year-old, is from Oshawa and is facing 11 charges in connection with the incident, including discharged firearm with intent, aggravated assault, pointing a firearm, and 2 counts of fail to comply with undertaking. The suspect, who cannot be named under the terms of the Youth Criminal Justice Act, was held for a bail hearing. The circumstances leading up to the shooting have not been released by police. CTV News Toronto has reached out to Durham Police for more information. Investigators are looking to speak with anyone who may have been near the scene or has surveillance video of the area at the time of the incident. The Liberals intend to move quickly to get a Ukraine free trade bill back up for debate and pressure the Conservatives to support it as MPs return to House of Commons today following the Christmas break. The legislation to implement an updated free trade agreement between Canada and Ukraine became unexpected political fodder in the fall when the Conservatives voted against it in a protest against carbon pricing. Ukraine has had a carbon price since 2011 and Canada since 2019, but the updated free trade agreement calls on both to promote carbon pricing. The Conservatives say they voted against the legislation solely because they won't support any promotion of carbon pricing and have shown no signs of willing to budge. Conservatives, meanwhile, will be wasting no time in bringing a carbon pricing carve-out for farmers onto the floor, with the potential to drive more holes in one of the Liberals' signature climate policies. The Conservative carbon pricing bill to remove some additional farm fuels from carbon pricing was amended in the Senate, as is up first for further debate this morning. Several Ukrainian organizations in Canada criticized the Conservatives for the vote against the Ukrainian free trade bill, and the Liberals seized on it, accusing the Conservatives of bending to American right-wing commentators and politicians who have taken Russia's side over Ukraine's in the conflict. Gasoline and diesel used on farms is already exempted from carbon pricing because, for the most part, there are no alternatives. The legislation brought forward by Conservative MP Ben Lobb seeks to remove carbon pricing from natural gas and propane as well. The bill passed the House of Commons easily nearly a year ago with support from all parties except the Liberals. But the Senate voted to amend the bill in December, leaving only propane for grain drying to be exempted. Lobb said Sunday that he rejected those amendments, telling reporters he expects it to return to the House as it was initially written. That bill now has to be further debated in the House of Commons and, if passes, puts both Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault in a bit of political bind. Both have pledged no more carve-outs from carbon pricing after they moved in October to remove it from heating oil for 3 years. That decision, which they insist was made to give heating oil users more time and money to replace their oil furnaces with electric heat pumps, has met with significant political criticism. Poilievre will kick off 2024 in Parliament much like he spent the previous year, with a hawk-like focus on the cost of living anxieties plaguing Canadians, which range from housing affordability to grocery prices. His decision to do so throughout 2023 saw him rise to the top of the polls, leaving Trudeau's Liberals scrambling to catch up. Appealing to Canadians concerned about crime in their cities is another major focus on the Tories, as growing support among the country's working class, particularly in NDP and Liberal-held ridings in Northern Ontario, British Columbia's interior, and on Vancouver Island. When it comes to the Liberals' bill to ban the use of replacement workers in federally regulated workplaces, the Tories have yet to state their position. New Democrats and Liberals continue to negotiate on what an initial pharmacare program might look like. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh has said working with the Liberals on pharmacare legislation has been like wrestling eels covered in oil. Singh told a town hall meeting in Edmonton, where the New Democrats held a caucus retreat last week, that it took the eel description from his party's health critic Don Davies, who has been negotiating with government on a firework bill. King Charles III on Monday was discharged from a private London clinic after undergoing a corrective procedure for an enlarged prostate. The 75-year-old monarch was admitted to the London clinic where the Princess of Wales, his daughter-in-law, also recently had abdominal surgery. Charles, who ascended the throne 16 months ago, was diagnosed with the benign condition on January 17 after he experienced undisclosed symptoms. He cancelled engagements and was urged to rest before the procedure, which had concluded by Friday afternoon. The king decided to announce the surgery in advance in an effort to encourage other men to have their prostates checked in line with public health advice. The Princess of Wales was released from a private London hospital and has returned to her home to continue recuperating from abdominal surgery. King Charles III remains hospitalized Monday following treatment for an enlarged prostate. The princess, formerly Kate Middleton, is making good progress in her recovery. Her office at Kensington Palace said Monday. The wife of Prince William underwent planned surgery on January 16th. The palace did not provide further details, but said her condition wasn't cancerous. The 42-year-old princess, formerly Kate Middleton, has cancelled her public engagements until after Easter. Charles was admitted to the same hospital on Friday for an unspecified procedure to treat his prostate condition, which royal officials described as benign. He is expected to be released soon. The 75-year-old monarch was diagnosed with a benign condition on January 17 after he experienced undisclosed symptoms. He cancelled engagements and was urged to rest ahead of the procedure, which had concluded by Friday afternoon. The king decided to announce the surgery in advance in an effort to encourage other men to have their prostates checked in line with public health advice. Toronto is missing hundreds of doctors, the Ontario Medical Association said Monday, as it renewed its warning that province doesn't have enough family doctors to meet demand in the community. The implications of people not being able to access primary care are severe, OMA President Dr. Andrew Park said in a statement. The crisis we have seen unfold in Sault Ste. Marie, leaving thousands of people without a family doctor, will replicate itself across the province. We can't just sit back and watch the situation get worse. We need to act now so people in Ontario can get care when they need it. Citing data from Health Force Ontario, the OMA provided an estimate for how many family doctors are missing in various communities across the province. The organization estimated that Toronto is missing 305 family doctors, followed by Ottawa with 171 empty spots, Barrie and Muskoka with 118, and Hamilton with 114. The OMA also cited underfunding from OHIP, rising inflation costs, and large amounts of time needed to fill out paperwork and help patients navigate the system as reasons that many existing family doctors are considering leaving their practices. The organization previously released an action plan calling on the Ontario government to fix the primary care crisis with a number of recommendations, including expanding access to team-based care and reducing the burden of unnecessary administration that doctors face. In a statement, a spokesperson for Health Minister Sylvia Jones said, the province has been working to boost the number of doctors in the province, including a nearly 10% increase in family doctors over the past 5 years, as well as more spots in medical schools, specifically for family medicine. The warning from the OMA comes amid ongoing negotiations with the province on a new agreement for Ontario's doctors. Toronto police have arrested and charged a 16-year-old girl in connection with a suspected hate-motivated assault they say occurred in rideshare vehicle over the weekend. The incident happened on Saturday at around 2:30 a.m. near St. Clair Avenue East and O'Connor Drive. The victim, police said, was on the clock working for an undisclosed rideshare company when they picked up a female passenger. Officers said the victim cancelled the trip due to the passenger's behavior. The passenger then allegedly made anti-South Asian comments and assaulted the victim. On Monday, police arrested a 16-year-old girl. She has been charged with assault and failure to comply with a judicial order. The charges have not been tested in court, and her identity is protected under the provisions of the Youth Criminal Justice Act. Furniture retailer Leon says it is moving forward with plans to build thousands of residential units on land it owns in North York. In a news release issued Monday, the company said it recently received rezoning approval that paves the way for it to build 4,000 residential units on a 40-acre plot of land that currently houses its corporate headquarters near Highway 401 and Highway 400. The mixed-use development will include townhouses, mid- and high-rise buildings, and community spaces, the company said. Phase 1 of the development will be focused on the building of a new flagship retail store and corporate headquarters on the site, the furniture company said in news release. The residential units will be built in a subsequent phases of the project, it continued. The company said the next step is to create a secondary plan with the City of Toronto, which Leon's expects to be complete by mid-2025. Rezoning this large parcel of land creates an unprecedented and historic opportunity for the City of Toronto and the company, Michael Walsh, President and CEO of Leon's Furniture Limited, said in a written statement.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Until then, good night.